birds. A sudden flock of birds collided with the plane. Both engines instantly caught fire and failed, causing a sharp drop in thrust. Captain Sully immediately attempted to restart the engines, but got no response. He quickly contacted the nearest airport for an emergency landing. Calculated that the plane still had enough power to return to the airport. So why risk a water landing?
Returning to LaGuardia would have been a mistake.
Okay, well, let's get into how you calculated all those parameters.
There was no time for calculating. I had to rely on my experience of managing the altitude and speed of thousands of flights over 4 decades.
You're saying you didn't do any...
I eyeballed it.
You eyeballed it.
Yes.
Executives behind office desks didn't trust Sully's instincts and experience. They only trusted cold, calculated computer simulations. Before the next hearing, they prepared a live simulation on a computer to prove that the water landing had been the wrong call. The man who saved 155 lives was now being accused of making a critical mistake. Why? Because insurance companies were facing massive payouts. The airline was being questioned by the public. If they could shift the blame to the pilot's judgment, they might reduce the damage. At the second hearing, they presented the computer simulation results. With the same wind speed, altitude, and temperature as that day, the data showed that the plane could have returned to the airport safely, and all 20 simulated attempts succeeded. Faced with such authoritative data, Sully lowered his head. Had he really made the wrong call? The decision he had once believed in without question was now cracking under pressure. He fell into self-doubt and anxiety. As the full flight data was being recovered, Sully was awaiting his final judgment. If the water landing was proven to be a mistake, he would go from hero to the man who endangered 155 lives. The mounting anxiety took a toll. He began having hallucinations of plane crashes. One day, hoping to calm his nerves, he walked into a bar. On the TV, a report sparked something in his mind. Timing. Computers could respond instantly to emergencies. Humans couldn't. He immediately called the union leader, asking them to replace the simulations with real pilots flying the same scenario. If the result was still a successful return, he would take full responsibility. The final hearing arrived. This time, the simulation was flown by actual pilots and broadcasted in full for the first time. The test began. Bird strike. Both engines failed. The pilots executed every maneuver flawlessly, landing safely on the runway. Everyone thought Sully had lost the argument, until he pointed out a key flaw. The simulation had ignored human reaction time. In a real emergency, people don't react immediately, yet the pilots in the simulation instantly turned back to the airport, as if they already knew the problem and the solution. It was no different than taking a test with the answers in hand. Then Sully asked, how many practice runs did these pilots do before this perfect result?
17.
17.
The room went silent. Even with full knowledge of the scenario, the pilots needed 17 tries before they got it right. But in real life, you don't get 17 chances. Sully requested 35 seconds of reaction time be added to the simulation. The test restarted. Bird strike. The clock began. For 35 seconds, the pilot did nothing, then attempted to turn back to the airport. But this time, the plane triggered a low altitude warning and crashed into the outer structures of the airport. The entire hearing room fell into stunned silence. Everyone finally understood. The plane had not been capable of a safe return. Sully's water landing had been the best and only option for survival. The miracle of 155 people walking away from a plane crash was thanks to Captain Sully's calm under pressure, his precise judgment, and his unmatched control. After the hearing, Sully stood outside, waiting for the final verdict. But whatever the outcome, he and his co-pilot knew in their hearts they had done the right thing, done the 50.
We did our job.